So our first candidate, we have the two running for governor. We have Commissioner Bradshaw and Lieutenant Governor Janice McGeehan. Commissioner Bradshaw, you're up.
My name is Steve Bradshaw. I'm running for governor of the greatest state in the Union, the state of Idaho. 21 years full-time pastor, two-term county commissioner, 44 years married to my beautiful bride over there, Cindy, and have been living in Idaho for 34 plus years. The current administration we have came back to the state in October of 21 and went in front of a camera and told a story about the lieutenant governor. He said, and this is a quote, "She did not have the authority to do what she did. Nobody gave her permission. She only made a big mess for me to clean up." Three things happened that day. One, he looked at every Idahoan in the eye through the camera lens and told you a lie. Willfully and intentionally, with the intent to mislead you and discredit his own lieutenant governor. B, or he's ignorant of Article 12 that governs his office, that says if he steps foot out of the state, the lieutenant governor is governor. Doesn't take legislation, doesn't take anybody to swear the lieutenant governor in. It is an automatic and instantaneous transfer of power. So he either willfully lied, A, B, is ignorant of the law that governs his office, or C, all the above. Recently, he did a TV commercial many of y'all have seen, and he comes on and the first thing he says, "I'm Governor Little of the state of Idaho, and we never had a lockdown or a mandate." I pastor a church just south of here, and I distinctly remember him saying for churches to close down, and his county commissioner actually got an email to that effect from the governor's office. When he left the state the first time, Lieutenant Governor passed an executive order banning what? Mask mandates. So he came back and he rescinded it. He couldn't rescind it if there hadn't been one for her to cancel out. So that's twice that the governor of the state of Idaho has looked every citizen in the eye and willfully lied. So you've been told two big lies by lying little. So you have to make a decision May 17th. Do you want somebody that will look you dead in the eye and lie to you willfully and intentionally for no reason at all? There was no value in him saying what he said. There was nothing to be gained by it, but he lied to you. In Jim County, 2 months ago, he stood up and did a State of the State address and said he just finished a tax bill that's going to be the greatest tax break in the history of Idaho. After I got up and spoke, at the end of it I said, if this tax bill turns out to be a tax break, I will applaud him. But every time I've ever heard the word tax break, tax incentive, tax reform, over the last 50 years, it was a tax shift. A tax break is when you get that tax assessment in the mail and it's less than what it was. How many of y'all have had one of those in 50 years? So you've never had a tax break. It's always a shift. Anybody that will continually lie, and here's the deal. He's going to pass all these great taxes. How many of you like paying grocery tax? Nobody? God, y'all are a tough crowd. So, on day one, as soon as my arm goes down when I'm sworn in, your grocery tax will cease to exist in the state of Idaho. His big tax break bill, lie number 3, he's only going to raise the tax 2%. How many of y'all passed 3rd grade math? If I am charging you 6 cents, and now tomorrow we're going to charge you 8 cents, Did it go up 2%? No, it went up 33%. So the grocery tax will actually increase 33%. Now, $2 billion, $100 million and some change was collected in sales tax last year. Only $143 million was grocery tax. Wayfare tax is the tax that was implemented when Amazon moved to Idaho 3 years ago, and everything they ship within state is subject to sales tax. It created almost $750 million in sales tax in the last 3 years that they stuck in a bucket because they weren't sure what to do with your tax dollars. If we have a government that doesn't know what to do with our tax dollars, I'd like to have it back. Or put somebody else in that chair. Wayfare tax could replace grocery tax threefold. And you could do away with grocery tax, but he didn't. He ended the mandate Tuesday, 2 weeks ago. Not because there's an election coming up, I'm sure, but only after Monday, the House had passed to end the emergency. Now, think about all the things you're seeing on TV and the ads he's putting out. I ended the emergency, but it doesn't go in effect till April 17th. Well, how come it didn't end that day? He had within his power to end it that day, did he not? Inquiring minds want the answer to that question, don't you? When CARES Act money came 2 years ago, there's some of it that hadn't been accounted for by my math. ARPA money came, and before the ARPA money got here, they said it would come in 2 waves. Guess what's on its way? You know what happens if you end the emergency before the ARPA money gets here? It stops. ARPA money and CARES Act money is not your tax dollars coming back to you. That is debt that they manufactured that your kids, and their kids are going to have to pay back. So the tax dollars they pay in, they'll never get a benefit from because they're paying the debt that we created. For me, Bonner County Commissioner, I'm the only commissioner out of 44 counties that when the ARPA rules came 8 months after the money, which I found highly suspicious, went through the language and in 9A found the clause that said any recipient and all recipients will follow all federal regulations and guidelines. That's normal language in any federal contract. But the rest of that sentence is, and any executive orders. I want you to think about that for a minute. Any recipient will follow any executive orders. I took that to our civil attorney. I said, is this referring to an existing executive order in the contract? He said, no, it's not. Or it would say, executive order number such and such. And it didn't. I'm Steve Bradshaw. That is why I want to be your governor, so that you have someone that will be honest with you, even if the honesty might be a little painful some days. Thank you.
We're going to hear from our governor candidates first. Commissioner Bradshaw will be up. Question. Idaho motorists have seen gasoline and diesel fuel prices more than double since 2020. According to the World Population Review, Idaho's state gasoline and diesel fuel taxes of 33 cents a gallon are the nation's 14th and 16th highest, respectively. Would it be appropriate, in light of Idaho's current budget surplus, to temporarily suspend part or all of the state's gas and diesel fuel taxes? Please elaborate.
That would be extremely possible. When you've got almost $2.5 billion of all of a sudden surplus, which makes you wonder, why do we have $2.5 billion in surplus? Do they not know what to do with our tax dollars? Or are they overtaxing us? Or all the above? So yeah, that would be something that certainly would be looked at. We're all feeling the inflation and it's because they're manufacturing money that is backed by nothing. And so it's only going to increase. They've stopped the pipeline, that's all part of the problem. But there are many things that the state can do to help the Idaho citizens. And what they don't understand about tax break is their budget is what sets the tax rate. If they cut back on their spending, they don't have to collect as much. Bonner County, we kept the taxes flat 3 years running. I think the state can do the same thing.